Alright everyone, so today I wanted to talk about some of the best units to bring to the upcoming Hell Raids, and I wanted to talk about 15 in total in this video, 5 for each of the different demons, Red, Grey, and Crimson. Now this isn't a comprehensive list, there are plenty of units that you can use outside this list for Hell Raids, so don't feel bad if there's a certain unit that you want to use and you don't see them in this list, but I wanted to do as good of a job as I could making this into a good list, and that includes keeping in mind free-to-play and low spenders, so hopefully you guys should be able to find some units that you already have from this list to be able to use for Hell Raids. Now another thing as well is because I'm going to be talking about so many units in this video, I'm not really going to spend a whole lot of time on each one in particular, so we're going to be moving along at a pretty good pace. And let's start off here with each of the different demons. I'm going to start off with the specific unit that is going to end up giving you the bonus for costumes here. Even though they technically might not be the best unit, if you have them, you're going to want to use them in your team anyway, so that you end up getting that bonus to your costume material upgrade drop. So we're going to start off here with the red demon, and that includes Druid Zanari. You are going to probably want to use her in your 4th slot though, of course. And let's move along here to the next unit, and that is going to be Blue Slater. So Blue Slater has been known for a long time to be really, really good for the red demon, and Hell is no exception. You can see here on the unit rating, he is very good at that. And if you already have him, a great thing about him is, you know, he's been out since the start of the game, and a lot of people probably have at the least one copy of him. And if you have him with multiple copies, that's going to be to your benefit. So alright, moving along here, and I want to talk about not just this bond right here, but there's actually several different blue bonds that you can end up using for the red demon, and they are all going to be very, very good. You can see here that this bond specialty really is the red demon here. He's got that charge damage, which is going to ignore defense, so very, very good for the red demon. He's going to decrease the attack-related stats as well, and his passive here decreases all enemies' attack-related stats by 15% at the start of the next turn if the hero doesn't take damage, so very awesome passive for this as well. And like I said, it's not just this brawler band in particular. If you have the other blue bonds, some of them are very, very good for the red demon besides just this one right here, and if you have multiple copies of them, that's even better for the ultimate. Now, moving along here, I really like putting this unit in the list here because we just got him. So the new Blue Arthur, if you guys have the new Blue Arthur, he is very, very good for the Hell Red Demon. You can see here, he's good for multiple things, but the Red Demon is one of them. And you can see here, he does a lot of damage on his first card, which includes canceling stances and stunning for 1 turn on the rank 3, which is really, really awesome. Second card here is also going to disable attack skills for 1 or 2 turns on the rank 3, and you've got his passive increases crit damage for each orb in the hero's ultimate gauge. So very awesome unit for the red demon. And moving along here to the next unit is, of course, have to put this in the list here because everybody should have him, and that is Blue King. Now, I wouldn't say he's at the absolute top of the list. I think there are possibly other considerations to use, but he's definitely not a bad choice at all, and I wanted to put him in this list because I know he's a unit that everyone's going to have access to once they get to a certain point in the game. So he is still good for the Red Hell Demon nonetheless. So alright, now moving along here to the Grey Demon, and of course, I'm starting off each of the demons with the specific unit for the bonus drops. That's going to be Druid Zanari. Maybe she's not necessarily the absolute best for the combat side of the encounter, but obviously if you have her, you're going to want to put her in your group, probably your 4th slot once again, so that you end up getting those the bonus for the costume upgrades. Alright, moving along here, of course, the King of Grey Demon, Green King himself. So this is kind of what Green King is all about. His specialty has always been Grey Demon, and of course Hell is no exception here. So he's going to do a ton of damage. He's got all that bonus damage when he is fighting the Grey Demon, and you know, obviously if you have him, fantastic. If he has his ultimate leveled up as well, that's going to be an even bigger advantage. And a lot of the units that you'll actually see for the Grey Demon, you'll see that a big theme among them is they're going to boost the effectiveness of Green King himself. Now moving along here to Valentina. So Valentina is going to be pretty decent for the Grey Demon on Hell. Obviously, Valentina is going to decrease all enemies' pierce rate, so that's going to improve your survivability, but she's also got the decreased defense-related stats, the attack-related stats. She does have this Rupture as well, which is ×2 against buffed enemies, but, you know, Valentina has a lot of uses, very versatile unit, so if you have her, you can end up putting her in your team for the Grey Demon. Now moving along here is, of course, Green Merlin. And Green Merlin is phenomenal for so many different areas of the game, and Grey Demon is no exception right there. So obviously you've got the skill that's going to do damage, deplete the ultimate. You've also got the barrier, which is going to be really, really useful for the Grey Demon because he can indeed do a good chunk of damage. But incredibly importantly as well is she has the fills the ultimate move gauge of your allies by 1 orb at the start of the battle. And that's going to really benefit Green King here because a lot of the other units that you use on your Grey Demon team are going to revolve around boosting your Green King, getting his ultimate level up, and really allowing him to do as much damage as you possibly can. And speaking of that, the very next unit here is going to be Green Princess Elizabeth. And we're still following that theme right there. She is a more defensive-based unit, and one of her main purposes is going to be her passive right here. Fills the hero's ultimate gauge move by 2 orbs at the start of battle. And it's going to be her ultimate gauge, but essentially what you're trying to do here with having her on your team is you want to end up rushing her ultimate, which is going to not only heal and keep your team alive against the Grey Demon who does a lot of damage, but it's going to then end up filling the ultimate gauge of everybody else by 2 orbs. And this gets a lot of power on a deathmatch, considering it's not just going to be your units, it's also going to affect the units of your friend's team as well. So super, super powerful for that. A fantastic choice to add to your team, and a lot of people should have access to her as well. And of course, now we are moving along to the Crimson Demon, starting things off here with the special Guardian Elaine here. And Guardian Elaine, out of the 3 special units for the Hellraids, I think she's probably the best one because of her passive. So she might actually get some serious use besides just having her in your team for the bonus costume drops. But she's going to increase the status-related buff effects by 1.5 times for all allies in Deathmatch, and that includes units like Derriere as well. So very, very good because of that, but also going to end up giving you the bonus costume upgrades. Next up in the list here is, of course, Red Demon Melios. And Red Demon Melios is kind of known for his Crimson Demon. That's kind of what he's really, really good at. He's got other good uses as well, but he's still going to be very, very good for Hell difficulty. He's got the Ignite as well. He does a lot of damage. He's going to have that boosted damage, and also his ultimate here with a debuff active is going to do an insane amount of damage. So very, very strong unit for this. Next up on the list is, I mentioned Elaine here and her unique, giving 1.5 times buffs to allies and their status effects. Well, Derriere is going to get a lot of benefit from that, and Derriere is also a fantastic unit to use for Crimson on Hell. So, Derriere, of course, she's going to do an insane amount of damage. She's red, and it's this buff right here that's going to allow her to get a bunch of damage from her Amplify, but also because of Elaine being in your passive for Crimson, then you're going to get even more benefit from this buff as well. And obviously you have her passive, which is going to end up giving her even more attack every time she takes a turn and uses one of her cards. So you're just going to see an insane amount of damage from her in Crimson on Hell. Next up on the list here is, of course, Gother. Gother's got to have the absolute craziest unit rating wheel right here, where he is just insane. And, Crimson Demon on Hell is no exception. Obviously, his big thing is the Invasion Arrow, ranking up your skill cards, and I don't think there's anything else I really need to say about Red Gother for Crimson on Hell, because everybody should probably be used to the fact that he's just such a powerful unit at this point. So, Red Gother. And last up on the list here is going to be Red Arthur, who is also going to be very, very good for Crimson on Extreme. Also, his passive is going to be really nice. HP-related stats doesn't just include HP. That's also going to give you things like Lifesteal, but very good, especially his buff here. Basic stats, debuff immunity, all that awesome stuff, and he's just going to be a very good addition to add to your team for Crimson on Hell. Anyway, I know that I didn't really spend a whole lot of time on each unit in particular, but I wanted to get this list out there. I hope that you guys enjoyed this list. Like I said earlier, though, this is not a comprehensive list. There are plenty of units that you can use outside of this list for Hell difficulty raids, and you should have no problem using many units outside of this list. The only thing you have to keep in mind is for Hell raids, it is locked to a specific color. So, you've got your Red Demon, which is locked to a team of blue units. You've got your Gray Demon, which is locked to a team of green units, and you've got your Crimson Demon, which is locked to a team of red units. But if you've got the gear, if you've got the units, you can make plenty of other units work. But, you know, I wanted to make this list diverse as well, so that if you guys are free to play or low spender, hopefully you can find some units from this list to use for your team as well. But I threw a ton of info at you guys today. I'm going to leave it here. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did and you want more videos like this in the future, consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to help out, be awesome. And leave a quick like as well. It only takes about a quarter of a second and it means more than you can imagine. So a huge, huge thank you to all of you who decide to quickly do that. We are at over 10,000 subscribers on the channel. So thank you. Thank you so much to all of you guys who have subscribed. And more Grand Cross Global videos should be popping up on the screen right about now. More guides, tutorials, and fun videos just like this on the channel. Over 150 of them now. Feel free to check them out. But if not, have a fantastic day, everyone. Take care, and until next time, this is Salt of the Salty Guild, signing out.